So welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander, and today we're taking a look at a new war game from Legion Wargames, and this is Maori Wars, the New Zealand Land Wars, and it's 1845 to 1872. This is a game which I have been eagerly anticipating because what a unique conflict. I think there's another game out there that does this, but I've never played a game with this kind of conflict, frankly. It's designed by John Paniski. I played a couple of his titles. Always gives you something different in a war game, which is something that I know Legion looks for. They're looking for interesting conflicts, interesting mechanics, so this one looks like to be something very cool. Inside the box, so we have a bag of bags, a little D6 here as well. And we have a rulebook, and this is a nice, almost glossy rulebook, and this is 20 pages long. But looking at this, you have looks like there's really 8 pages of rules. These are the rules. Everything back here is scenarios. So that's exciting. A lot of game in this box, which is always nice. And 8 pages of rules means this will be very quick and easy to pick up and learn. Yep, nice. Pretty excited about that. Decent rules reference here with all the different counter types. Not necessarily any huge diagrams or anything, but hopefully we'll get some help when it's easy to learn. So here we're looking at all the counters. I think there's 2 sheets of these. Yeah. And I am not going to pretend to know what a lot of these are. I would imagine, so these are single-sided, blank sides on both of these. So it looks like these are, it says hostiles on them, and then you have ones that say neutral on them. I don't know if that's kind of different unit types, because then you've got militia and cavalry of different types here. Looks like you've got infantry, and these look like they might be more professional troops. I wouldn't be surprised if these BR for British, AU for Australian, NZ for New Zealanders. These might be kind of line troops. Looks like you get some BR Naval, that's probably Royal Marines. But I think all these hostiles might be kind of your native indigenous forces. Not entirely sure though. There's a lot of different markers here as well. A lot of stuff going on here, so a lot of rules to be read, but just really cool looking counters down here with these war masks, canoes, just some interesting bits and pieces in this, it's exciting to have stuff that's new and fresh. So who knows, a lot of learning to be done in this one, I think, because I know basically zip about this conflict. So we have a map which we'll get to here in just a second, and it looks like there's a bunch of plays. Piece of paper at the bottom, not gonna worry about that. Alright, so play aids, and there is a lot of them. So we have alliance negotiations table and a bombardment table. British leader only, Maori leaders negotiate. I'm not sure if this is like between the British and Maori or if it's inter-Maori tribes. Not sure, but cool. Alliances are always a fun thing to mess around with in combat. Looks like you have a CRT here with the dice roll modifier there. Or what your die roll might be modified, I guess, because you've got a -1. Obviously can't roll that. But yeah, modifiers down here, results explanation, and a list of victory points down here for defeating certain pieces or defeating villages, capturing bits and pieces as well. Terrain effects chart, and I don't know if this is on the map or not. Interesting. Either way, we might have to have this out for the terrain effects. Nice sequence of play as well. And we have battle dispatches report chart. These were those numbered chits. All these grey ones over here. These all have numbers on them. Battle dispatch. Looks like you might be pulling chits and different things are going to happen. This is a list of all those. This looks like an errata. It looks like they just missed one off. They went from 24 through 26 up to 28 and they just missed out this. So you've got this separate as a reference, but it says here you can download they redid this and stuck this on there, so you can download one and print out a nice new copy of this. And a Bush Raider map. Well, I don't know what that is, but that sounds cool. So a lot of explanation about bush raiding, and this is a condensed version of the map, so you might be referencing this of different areas that you can and can't go into whilst bush raiding, and a little sequence of play for that phase. And then you have some history behind the design. And this is nice. This is some personal history from John Paniski and his father, who served as a Marine. Really interesting, very personal game for John. So this is an interesting little read. You have some nice pictures and some good history behind why this game and how it came to fruition. So I highly recommend just tucking into these kind of extras that you get in the game. Let's take a look at that map, because this is something where just seeing pictures of this made me want to play this game, because I tell you right now, I'm a sucker for a map, and this map, let's kind of try and squeeze it all in. So it looks like, okay, here's a couple things. We do have that terrain effects chart right here that we had a chart for separately, so you don't necessarily need that. That alliance negotiations table and bombardment table, that was a separate play aid, so you don't necessarily need all those extra play aid cards, so that's good. You have what looks like a victory track here, and that victory point list. So again, they give you these extra cards, but you don't necessarily need to use them. You have down here a game turn track with this combat results table. Again, I love having all this printed on the map, makes it nice and easy. And here you have the Bush Raider holding box and some reinforcement box. So that, let's see, it looks like we have this Bush Raider. It's explaining how units from this box might come and do raids, I guess. Not entirely sure. But I look at this map, and it's very evocative to me. You kind of see it's almost just like old pastel colors. It's a really cool vignette, and I don't know. I look at this and I think what a cool looking map, and I like pushing around a beautiful game. You think about all these counters and just the color palette. Having this on the table is just fun and interesting and nice to play with. You kind of see these areas are divided up. Kind of get the light off of them. You've got these big yellow lines dividing up the various regions, and on them, I'm going to pick this up and show you, because the detail for all of the different terrains and stuff is beautiful and intricate. This is one of those maps where you frame it and put it on a wall, in my opinion at least. I love how realistic of a map this looks, in the sense that this looks like a real map. And I love that. The detail that went into this is really cool. This is a complete map of North Island, on which are delineated the mountains, rough terrain, and principal rivers. Just, it looks like a map, and I think that is really, really awesome. So, very excited, very, very excited to play this. A very different type of game, short rulebook, short setup. I'm excited to play this and learn this, and I hope it provides a great learning opportunity for something I know, frankly, nothing about. So, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I've been Alexander from theplayersaid.com, and this has been an unboxing of Maori Wars from Legion Wargames. Thanks very much for tuning in.